Hey guys, so it's that time of the month to go over some of the notable micros on my channel for the month of April 2018. So a little bit of a slow month. I didn't get a whole lot in terms of the 2.5 inch or 2 inch. I think the 2 inch is kind of dying out. You probably see that there are a lot of new models in the 2 inch class. But I've been doing a lot of sort of custom builds, like some of my favorites here, like this one here, the ultralight 2.5 inch Ascent. This is actually called the Slim X from Flex-RC. Definitely would encourage you to check out this video. This is a pretty flexible frame. It's currently built as a 1S, and it's got some 1102 16,500 kV motors. Flies real nice, very light, good flight times. I also have another one of these frames. I'm going to be doing a 2S build, and that'll be coming up in probably about a week. So stay tuned for that. This is one of my favorite frames to fly. I fly this pretty much all the time. This past month, just you haven't seen a lot of videos on it. I just kind of fly it wherever because it just flies 1S at the park. So it's very quiet and very convenient to fly pretty much anywhere. This frame here is the I think it's called the STP 120. Pretty nice frame for a 2.5 inch. It's a little bit of stretch decks. Obviously, you got the Gemfan 2540s on here, and you got your micro CCD camera. Fairly lightweight. Not sure about the durability because I haven't crashed it a whole lot. Did crash a few times in the grass, but I think it's totally fine. I think that on these Gemfan 1105 7500 kV motors, which are basically clones of the BBB 1105 7500 kV motors, you get pretty short flight times and very good performance though. I mean, it's very fast. And I actually have that same motor on the Hayabusa here, and it has sort of a similar issue. It's I think I would recommend going with a 6000 kV motor. I think I mentioned this in both of the videos. You can get pretty good joyride on the 7500 kV motor, but the flight times are kind of short. So might be good for racing if you want to do like a 2-minute race, but if you want to do a little bit longer flying, probably go with different motors. But check out these two videos. This frame flies real nice too. It's got this H style. So you got the stretch decks over here. You got an H style here. Similar setups in terms of you got similar cameras and ESCs and such. Just the frame is totally different. So if you want to see how these two motors, basically the same motors on two different frames, fly, check out these two videos. This one flies pretty nice too. So definitely check out both these videos. This is the Bargus frame. It's a 2.3 inch frame, and I just built it basically for the Avon 2.3 inch props. Flies pretty nice on these Emax 1106 7500 kV motors, and I'm just flying this around on 2S, although I'm sure 3S is totally fine as well, although your flight times will be shorter depending on what battery you use. But this is a nice little frame, pretty durable, and if you're looking sort of like that 2 inch class, a little bit bigger, but not quite as big as the 2.5 inch. I would check this frame out. It's a pretty interesting frame. And here's another notable one from Airblade UAV. This is the Eclair 2.5 inch plus frame, and basically it's the Eclair cage, but in a plus configuration instead of the normal X configuration. And they sell this as a 2.5 inch and a 2 inch. Definitely interesting flight characteristics, more like a stretch decks than a normal X, of course, because of the way the front and back motors are spread apart. And if you like that front part prop in the view in the middle, you have that kind of lower camera angle like I have here, like 25 degrees. You get that prop in the view in the bottom, which is kind of interesting. It has very interesting flight characteristics. Definitely check out that video if you want to hear more about this. But yeah, this is one of the frames I thought was really interesting this month. Okay, so I don't normally cover the tiny whoops in this video, but this one is very notable because it was one of my favorites of all the brushless whoops that have come out in the last few months. Yeah, I'm probably going to be getting some more of these in probably next month, different sizes. I'm getting the 65 millimeter version, the Snapper 6 as well. That's coming as well. This one flew really nice out of the box. Good tune. I don't think I had to do any tuning. I think this is the default tune. It flew very, very nice. I think I had to do with the frame and the construction of it. Just also the flight controller is very nice as well. I don't know. I'm looking for suggestions. Leave me a comment below if you're interested in a video on just dedicated to brushless whoops and maybe just the tiny whoops in general, because there's basically two sizes now in the 1S whoop class. There's going to be the 65 millimeter and the 75 millimeter. So the 75 millimeter, and they perform differently. You know, you have the 1S with the brush motors, and then like the Tiny 6X and the Tiny 7X, and then you have the 1S brushless motors like the Snapper 6 and Snapper 7, along with a whole other variety of stuff there. A lot of variety in the motors as well. Yeah, if you're interested in a video like that covering all of those, I'll make a dedicated video just for that. If I have enough comments below, if enough interest is there, then we'll make a video on that. So let me know if you're interested in that. Okay, this last one I want to talk about is the long-range Ascent that I built here for long flight times and long range with the Crossfire here. You can see the Crossfire antenna. I'm going to be doing, obviously, more builds coming up in May. I'm doing the Airblade Clear, maybe a couple of frames that I haven't mentioned yet that aren't actually out. But yeah, I'm going to be doing more kind of these motor testing, long endurance type testing, seeing what kind of batteries last a long time, which motors and props last a long time in terms of flight times. Kind of trying to go for 10 or more minutes, 10 to 15 minutes of flight time. So I did a video just, I think it was yesterday, it was out on this one. You can watch that if you want to check it out. I did at least an 8-minute flight on a 650 milliamp hour 4S. But yeah, this is starting the testing out, and this is some interesting stuff. So if you're interested into long range or long endurance flying, definitely check out these videos because those are going to be coming up in the next month or so in May, and then obviously going forward. Okay, so I wanted to bring up something here. This is the Eachine QX90C Pro, and I got some comments from people saying that they saw this on some other channels and it was flying fine, and then they got it and it had the same problem that I did where it had some motor issues. I think it has to do with the poor quality of the FETs on the flight controller. Yeah, I got this about the same time as most of the other reviewers did, but if you watch my haul videos, I think I tend to get things a little bit later than some of the other people because just things, I live in the California area, so things go through customs in LA. They take about a week longer than pretty much everyone else in the rest of the country. I don't know why. It's probably because there's just a lot of packages that go through LA. And so I usually get the stuff about a week after everyone else, and then I usually show it in the haul video. So you'll see that it'll show up there. And then you didn't see a video from this for a while. And the reason was that it had a defect. The first one, it had two motors would spin up when I would plug in the battery, which meant the FETs were damaged or were basically DOA. And so you didn't get a video in this. And so, but if you don't see a video on this fairly soon after you see it in the haul video, that usually means something's up. I will try and post if there's a problem in the community section, like I did with the that one, the Everwing Cyclone, that one that came from GearBest. Yeah, that one was a 2.5-inch micro, and that one blew up on the bench when I was doing some motor direction testing. The ESC caught fire at like 20% throttle, which was ridiculous. I think that's just probably a bad batch of ESCs that they built that model from, and I'll be getting another one down the road. I don't know when, if they're gonna send me another one or not. But this is sort of something I want to highlight in terms of reviews and problems with models. I would highly recommend not just watching my reviews, but watching other people's reviews. Subscribe to at least 10 review channels and see what everyone's experiences are. Because if you just watch one or two review channels and you see that they have a good experience, this includes myself, not just anyone else, but if you see that your model it flies well from someone, it may not necessarily mean that it's a good model. It just means that the one they got was good, and you may not see a problem. Now, it turns out that for this particular model here, the QX90C Pro, it was no good for me, and so I had to contact Banggood and told them about the problem, and then they sent me another one, and it turns out that the second one here isn't that great either because of the low quality FETs. I was getting that motor dipping problem. You probably saw that in the review, and I recommended not getting this because of that issue. I think that it has to do with the component that they chose for the all-in-one flight controller on this particular model. Now, some people complained that like, oh, I watched someone else's review, and when I saw your review, it turns out that you had the same problem that I did, and they were kind of like frustrated with that. Well, that's because they probably didn't watch a bunch of other reviews. They just watched one or two channels and I thought it would look good and then bought it. So I would highly recommend checking, subscribing to multiple review channels and then watch all of the videos and make sure that the model you're interested in is actually a good model and not just a one-off. Because some of these some of these models will be good for a certain batch, but it may not be good overall, and that has a lot to do with the quality control and the design. There's a lot of various factors in that, but the only way you can, I guess, protect yourself from that kind of an issue is to watch lots of videos on the same thing. If you see 10 channels that have a model that is fairly decent out of the box, that's usually a pretty good indicator. Now, I bring this up because I'm not getting a lot of new models, especially from GearBest. I'm getting more the ones from Banggood now because they're bringing up more RTFs like the Snapper 7 here. I actually one of the first ones to get this one and review it. But the thing is, from GearBest, I don't know what's going on with GearBest. It seems like lately, some of the newer models that are coming out, there's like a King Kong 5-inch model and a King Kong 3-inch model, and there was the Space Wolf. There's a few of those that GearBest sent to some of the really large channels, like Drone Camps and Andy-RC, and I didn't get those, and I have no idea when I'll be getting those because they're still out of stock. So GearBest seems to be doing some kind of weird stuff with these things lately, and I think that they're getting a smaller amount of review samples at the very beginning, and they're sending them out to the very largest channels for review. And actually, I think they're selling it to fewer of the channels than before. So before, they used to send to, I don't know, multiple channels, 10, 15, 20 channels. Now it seems like that only just a handful of channels are getting those early review units. And then, as you probably may or may not have noticed, that those models, when you see that on those channels, they're actually available to order, but then if you look at the date on the actual when it's actually going to be dispatched, it's like, I think, for example, those King Kong models aren't even going to be out until middle of May in terms of dispatch, but you can order and send them your money if you want. And I think that's probably one of the issues, is that they shouldn't be doing that. They should be putting it up for pre-order, where you can like put your name in the hat and say, I'm interested in it, but don't have to actually pay them for it. But that's just the way they're handling things right now, and that's one of the reasons why I haven't been getting those models. I don't know the exact reason, but yeah, it seems like there's only a small set of review samples that go out. So if you don't see those on my channel, that's the reason why. And if you're wondering my opinion on those, I have no idea because I haven't gotten those yet. And until I get those, you're not going to get my opinion. So, if you're looking at some of those models on those bigger channels and you're not sure if you should get them or not, I would just wait. Just wait. I mean, you can order them now, but you can't even get them anyway until middle of May. So I would suggest just waiting and then seeing if the quality of those are any good. Not just from my channel. I mean, I'm sure that some of the other channels will get them as well. But definitely wait and see if the quality that you see in the initial reviews is actually going to hold up in the later reviews. Anyway, yeah, I've talked long enough for this video. Hopefully that information is helpful to you guys. Yeah, I just wanted to, sort of clear up that issue with some of the questions I got in the comments, because, yeah, if you don't see stuff on my channel, it's because I haven't gotten it yet, haven't gotten around to it yet. You should just wait and see, because whatever experience I get, I just show it to you exactly the way I got it. I don't try and cover it up or try and make the model fly better and then just show you the good stuff. I just exactly the way it comes to me. It's exactly the way you're going to see it. To be honest, I don't have time to mess around with it. It just, if it flies, it flies. If it doesn't fly, then it doesn't fly. You'll just see exactly the way. So that's just the way it comes on my channel, and hopefully that's the kind of things that you're looking for on in review videos. And if you do, then leave me a comment below. Let me know. Give me some encouragement on that kind of stuff. I really would appreciate that. Anyway, I've rambled on way too long in this video, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.